Crispy,
right.
melty, grilled cheese.
If you're hungry now at
How
about
does that
3:30,
sound? Crispy, grilled cheese, yum.
oh my gosh, I wish you could smell it in here. Caseus Provisions just had a soft opening, a gooey opening.
A gooey opening.
It was gooey.
But they're bringing their famous beloved sandwiches from the crispy melty food truck to a brick-and-mortar cafe.
We're joined by the co-owner, Jason Sobocinski.
You nailed it.
Right?
We did
You
it?
nailed it.
Sobocinski.
Nailed it.
Beloved and award-winning Connecticut brand Caseus is opening. Again, you opened the brick-and-mortar. It was a soft
So
opening.
we opened Saturday, and we had a great showing. People came. We sold hundreds of grilled cheese sandwiches. We also have a full cheese shop. Right now we have about 40 different cheeses from all over the world, Connecticut.
How'd you get into cheese?
In Wallingford,
Okay.
yeah.
How'd you get into cheese?
I absolutely love cheese, and I worked at an iconic cheese shop up in Boston, in Cambridge, called Formaggio Kitchen, while I was getting my degree in gastronomy at BU.
You're kidding. You went to
Wow.
BU.
I went to BU.
I
That's a
almost
great
went
school.
there, and a degree in gastronomy is like, that's really cool. Okay.
It's the study of food and culture.
I
Isn't
love
that
it.
amazing?
All right,
Yeah.
so there's
Great.
nothing better than cultured grilled cheese. Like, that's just
Yes.
the best thing ever. So I wanted to know, because I love grilled cheese, the best thing. So you like to start with a cast iron
So
pan.
if you have a cast iron pan, or if you have an electric griddle, those are great too.
Okay. And real
but
butter.
Real butter. So we use Cabot butter, just good real butter.
Yep.
This is nice high fat content. Great mix of cheeses.
May I try that?
You absolutely, man.
So you mix your cheeses.
So we mix our cheeses because different cheeses have different meltability, texture, and different cheeses have different flavor components. So
is that good?
I like a good Vermont sharp cheddar, a provolone, some Comté, some Gruyere, a little bit of Gouda, a young Gouda for some sweetness. And so you get great taste, but you also need that meltability.
Is there any cheeses that you get feta up with?
Cheesy jokes, I'm all about them. The last thing is the bread. We use a French sourdough called Pain Levant, and you can see the holes.
Okay.
And those holes allow the cheese to melt through and make this ridiculous crust that we see here.
The ridiculous
That's really what you want.
Really, really
That's
we're
what
looking
you
at
want.
some of the
Yeah.
pictures too about how it just comes. So you have a grilled cheese bar there. So I'm
We do.
also just noticing we have a hot pan here.
You do.
And then,
Let's put some.
and then, do you want me to turn this up?
Yeah, you can. I think one of the big tips I want to tell people with grilled cheese is, besides using lots of good butter, it's really
you
important.
put it on the pan. You didn't, because it's hard to spread it on the
It's
bread.
hard to spread it on the bread.
Okay. That's
very
You know,
interesting. I've
I
never seen
put it
that
on the
done
pan, I
before.
go like this, and then I like to go open faced.
Okay.
And so I put a good amount of cheese on both sides.
That's how, okay, so usually we would do it and then squish
A
it.
lot of times
No, so
people
you-
will
okay.
squish it. Yeah, I actually like to I don't want to force the cheese to melt too quickly, because then it'll kind of leak a bunch of oil.
an
I don't
old
necessarily want that. I want it to
Okay.
melt slowly.
Okay.
There's an
And
old
then-
Judy Collins song. I coat my bread on both sides now.
Was that Judy Collins?
Judy
It
Collins,
was.
yeah.
I think you're right.
Yeah, thank you.
And then I really like to, once it's melted, I put it together.
Okay.
And then, like a good steak,
Yeah.
you gotta let it rest.
You gotta let it
You
rest.
gotta let it rest.
'Cause if
Don't
you-
squish it with the
No,
spatula.
like a hamburger, you squish it,
Everything comes out,
everything
okay.
runs out. I'd rather have it all here contained.
Okay.
And then I let it rest, and then I cut it so that
How
all the
long
cheese
do
doesn't
you
go
let it rest
oozing out.
for?
A couple minutes.
Okay, not next-
as long as I can contain.
Right.
It
As
also
long as you
avoids
can stop
burning
your mouth watering
Right.
before you can eat it.
It also avoids burning the roof of your mouth, which is also a nice thing.
Oh, okay.
You know, I didn't bring any of the different artisan cheeses
That's
today.
okay.
But they're all in there. You grate them yourselves, right?
we grate them ourselves. It's really important when making grilled cheese. I know it's super convenient to buy pre-grated cheese. I get that.
We shouldn't do that.
Well, it's coated in potato starch cellulose to make it from anti-caking, and that's
Okay,
great.
okay.
But it really messes the melt.
Messes the melt.
It doesn't allow it all to fuse back together.
So buy the block and just grate it.
grate it.
Okay.
You don't need it. It's like get a box grater, or you can
So
use your
what's the mustard
Cuisinart.
for? To dip?
So that's a great question, because look, I'm using fat and fat.
Okay.
And lots of cheese and lots of butter. So you got to reset your palate. So vinegary Cornichon pickles,
Okay.
really, really bright vinegary Dijon mustard.
I love Dijon
Every
mustard.
time you
Oh
can
my
reset your
gosh.
palate. And
Did
then
you dip
it's
it?
like, you could dip it, you could smear it, you could just have a little on the side.
I never thought about
You know,
putting
it's-
mustard
Put it
on my grilled
inside?
cheese.
No.
Sometimes we put it inside. We have toppings. We do a French onion version where we cook onions down with
Oh
thyme.
my God, we gotta go there.
We do bacon, we do guacamole, we do fresh tomato, but I like the classic. I think it's fun to do a classic, and we're here to do a board.
Right, so
So-
you did. Who cares about the charcuterie board? Why not a
We
grilled
could do a
cheese
grilled
board?
cheese board. So you
cut
could
it in tiny pieces.
You
after
could just
you're
cut
done?
these up. We're burning this,
okay.
which is fine.
Okay.
Because we're not gonna eat that. We're gonna eat these, right?
I wanna
So
eat
you could
that.
cut the. We could eat them all. So you could cut these up. They've rested.
Okay.
So they're not leaking all over the place. So we could just cut these up, right? And then we could have toppings on the side, but we could just kind of stretch these out. Everyone likes this, right?
Oh, look at that.
I don't know. That's like it's the party trick of the century.
Oh my gosh.
And then you could keep these in, or you could smatter them around. Like we could do a little.
Like, do you fill up the kind of how you fill up the
Yeah.
white space? You fill up the
like
board
fill
with,
up the white space
Yeah. Okay.
with pickles everywhere.
So when it comes to temperature, just at home, I would have done like a medium high. So that's why I cranked it up to 7. You don't do that.
I like to go a little slower and lower so I can get that cheese making its way through those holes.
Okay.
And really making that crust.
So what would
That's
you
so
would
good.
you
So now
flip this
I would
onto
just I would just check and say like, okay,
That's
yeah,
not
now
bad.
that we're in good shape. So I have asbestos hands, but go ahead, give it a
Okay.
flip.
And then we just.
I'll give it a flip.
A flip or a squish? Don't squish too much,
Don't
right?
squish too much.
All right.
Okay,
Because
so
you
just-
know.
Now we want
Let's
to
check
flip
the other
it?
side. Yeah, give it a flip.
Yeah.
Hey-o. All right, so that side needs a little more. I would even put a little more butter on the edges.
Yeah.
And we're going to let it take its time.
Let it
Okay.
take its
So
time.
just
But
the
look,
cheese
it's
melts
already
slowly.
happening where the cheese is melting and you're getting that crustiness.
And you're getting this stuff right here, these little...
Oh, those are the best.
That's the best. That's the best part.
Like
when
little
it kind of
baby
leaks
cheese
through.
pancakes. Those are the best. All right, Scott, here you go.
right.
With this cheese, rightly wed.
Oh, my.
God. All right, their National Grilled Cheese Day grand opening celebration will kick off Wednesday, April 12th. That is the day before the Big Brother tryouts on Center Street in Wallingford. To learn more about, visit CaseusProvisions.com. It's right there on your screen, CaseusProvisions.com.
This is incredible.
I can just imagine.
Who needs cake when you have this?